Minggu depan harus presentasi. Oke, langsung ke kuliahnya aja dulu. Okay, so this is the developmental disciplines of oral structures. Actually, in oral structures, we have so many tissues, right? So, of course, each tissues has its several disturbances. For the examples, like developmental disturbances of the jaw, I will explain 5 of them. There are agnasia, micronasia, macronasia, facial hemihypertrophy, and facial hemiatrophy. So first, let's talk about agnasia. So agnasia is a complete developmental failure of the jawbone. So both maxilla and mandibula did not develop well. So in this case, actually, this is an extreme rare conditions affecting one newborn in 70,000 newborn. And like I mentioned before, that in these conditions, including it are maxilla and mandibula. And most of infants that has agnasia will die soon after birth. And actually, these conditions can be detected since in the womb through ultrasonography, both 3-dimensionals or just the conventional one, and it become more clear using MRI. So the etiology of agnasia is a mutations in PRX1 genes, and some of scientists also mentions about the effect of alcohol exposures in these conditions. So as you see in the pictures, this is the conditions of agnasia when it detected using 3-dimensional ultrasonography or 3D USG. And this is the magnetic resonance imaging or MRI. You see, right? These ears of the infant looks move to the midline of the face, and you see these conditions of the infant mouth because there is no bone that support the soft tissues around the oral cavity, so that you can see the mouth look like unite, make an O formations. Okay, and this is the infant while succeed to be delivered. So this is the postmortem image. You can see these conditions called as microstomia. Okay, and this ottocephaly, right? And the other conditions that has relations with failure development of the jawbone is the micronasia, when you found the jawbone development that's smaller than normal. So most of it is a congenital conditions. So it the persons that have micronasia, they have a failure development since in the womb, since infant, but in some cases, micronasia also could be acquired later after birth. Compared to the maxilla, mandible is the most often affected one, and it will produce bird face appearance. So, as you can see in these pictures, the face morphology or formations look like a bird. The etiology is congenital. Most of them is due to the chromosomal abnormalities, and the other report also show deficient nutrition that cause micronasia. some syndrome or conditions related to congenital disturbances like Pierre-Robin syndrome or sequence also could be the etiology of micrognathia. And if we talk about acquired etiology or the etiology that happen after the birth, most of them could be trauma in a temporomandibular joint, could be an infections or ankylosing. The other abnormality or developmental disturbances that in jawbone called by macrognathia, or this is the opposite with micrognathia when you find abnormally large jaw. And most of macrognathia has a strong relations with the overexpressions of some growth factor or growth hormone, like in a pituitary gigantisms, and also it has a strong relations with pancreatitis, acromegaly, and some metabolic disorder like chronic renal failure. The other type of developmental disturbances in the jawbone is facial hemihypertrophy. We can define it as a significant unilateral enlargement of the face. You see that this kid's jaw looks asymmetric. Okay, this part looks bigger compared to the other side, and we can call it as facial hemihypertrophy. Actually, this condition is not truly hypertrophy because you have ever got a material how to define hypertrophy, how to differ hypertrophy and hyperplasia. So I will not explain to you again about the difference between hypertrophy and hyperplasia conditions. So these conditions is more suitable to be called as hyperplasia compared to the hypertrophy. And this condition could be related to some syndromes like Pacvid-Whitman syndromes, neurofibromatosis, McCune-Albright syndrome, and Nephrosis syndrome. And female looks more often to be to have this facial hemihypertrophy compared to the male one. And it can be classified into three types. One is complex hemihyperplasia, when you find half of the body are has hyperplasia conditions, at least one arm and one leg. And the other form, the other type is simple hemihyperplasia, when it has single limb only, and hemifacial hyperplasia, when you find only one half of the face that has an hyperplasia conditions. Of course, you will see the manifestations in the oral cavity, including the dentitions. In the hyperplastic side, look bigger, the tooth size, the tooth shape, and the developmental rate is affected due to these conditions. You see the difference between this normal side and hyperplasia side. In hyperplasia, looks bigger compared to this one. Okay, and of course the appearance of the person that affected with these conditions, the face looks asymmetric. And some and most of them also can be observed this unilateral macroplosia. So enlargement in a lingual papillae, enlargement in the tongue, but only involved in a half of the tongue. So unilateral, okay? And the buccal mucus here looks thick and velvety folds compared to the normal one. The other type is facial hemiatrophy, when you can find a unilateral face atrophy. Okay, face atrophy. You mean so in these conditions, the cells is shrink. The cells is smaller compared to the normal one. So that's why it's called facial hemiatrophy or unilateral face atrophy. It has a strong relations with Perry-Romberg syndromes, where you can find progressive atrophy of the soft tissues, and it's confined to one half of the face. The etiology could be cerebral disturbances related with the disturbances in the neural systems, could because local trauma during extractions of the teeth or infections, and could be also genetic factors. Okay, I will not explain in detail about the etiology because this material learning outcome is you need to know only about this type of conditions. Okay, and of course in the oral cavity you will also see the manifestations like a dental malformations, like incomplete root formations, delayed eruptions of the teeth or no teeth at all, and it will the patient will feel difficulties in mastications, hemiatrophy conditions, and the eruptions of the affected side could be retarded. Okay, you see this alveolar ridge in the affected side looks smaller to the normal side. And some you will also can see these cup Sabri conditions. So you will see that the face look like has a midline in the face. So it's just an imaginary line, but you will see the difference clearly between the affected side and the normal side. And the other tissues is in the oral mucus, including vertices granules and focal epithelial hyperplasia. Okay, for vertices granules, is when you find heterotrophic collections of sebaceous plants in oral mucosa. Clinically, this is the vertices granule, yellowish lesions in the oral mucosa, mostly affected the buccal mucus. And actually, this is considered as a normal anatomic variations and usually symmetric. Histopathologically, you will see this sebaceous gland beneath the epithelial of the oral mucus. So this is the sebaceous gland. A lot of sebaceous gland under the epithelium. The other type of developmental disturbances is focal epithelial hyperplasia or head disease, but these conditions mostly not including in the developmental disturbances, but nicely to know about these conditions because it has a strong relations with human papillomavirus infections, type 13 and type 32. It just so these clinically features look like a papilloma or oral warts. If you still remember our previous class about oral warts, okay. And histopathologically, you will see this hyperplastic epithelium and the formations of the ridge look like a feet of the elephant. So you will also see these parakeratosis conditions of the mucus. And this is the special features of the epithelium that's affected by human papillomavirus when you can find these mitozoid bodies. This is a typical nuclear change produced by human papillomavirus, like this. The next one is developmental disturbances that affected the gingiva, including gingival fibromatosis and tricuspid papillae. So for gingival fibromatosis, you will see a pathological growth of the gingival tissues. So the gingival will look very big and it can cover a whole part of the teeth. And this is a benign conditions, non-hemorrhagic, and the tissues is fibrous gingival growth. Okay. So histopathologically, because you see this is fibrous overgrowth, you will see an the epitel look acanthosis, and the tissues beneath the epitel most of them are fibrous tissues, dense connective tissues. The other one is retrocuspid papilla or a swelling on the inside of the lower gums here. This is retrocuspid papilla, usually bilateral, symmetric. It can be healed or it can be regressed during the age. Okay. And histopathologically, you will see in most cases it's composed of loosely arranged delicate fibrous connective tissues. So you can see the difference with the previous developmental discrepancies. Yeah. Kalau yang ini looks loose fibrous connective tissues. The previous one is dense. And the epithelium look hyperplastic, and you can find these elongations of the ridge here. Okay, thank you. Any questions before we proceed to the task? Untuk tugas kalian ya. Ada pertanyaan? Clear ya? Gampang ya? Sudah tahu semua? Oke, saya langsung proceed ke tugas kalian. Ya. IUP class. So how much students in IUP class?
For the IUP class, doctor, in total is 43 since one of our students did excel. So it's in total 43, doctor.
So 43.
Yes, doctor, 43.
Okay,
43.
so please define your group into 8 groups. Okay. And each group need to need to make a presentations that explain about these 8 topics. Okay. So in your presentations, please mention about the definitions. Please take notes. Mention about the definitions first, and then the etiology, and then clinical appearance, and then histopathological features, if any. And of course, you need to mention about the pathogenesis or how this condition could happen. Okay? Any questions regarding the test?
Excuse me, doctor, I have a question. So for this homework assignment, since there's 43 students and there's 8 materials that we need to present, since the students are an odd number, so there's going to be one group that's going to be more than
That's fine.
That's fine. And also for the materials, how are we supposed to divide it to the groups? Is it the first 5 is going to be designated to macroglosssia, and then the second 5 is going to be megaglossia? Is it like that, doctor?
So actually, I give it to the coordinator of IUP class. So it's depend on you. Just divide your friends to 8 groups and mentions about who are in the first group, second group, until 8th group. As long as it's clear, who will do the as long as it's clear who are in the first group until 8th group, that's fine. So just define your friends. It can be according to the name number, that's fine, or just as you is, that's fine.
All right, doctor, thank you very much.
Any questions more? No, it's clear? Clear? No questions? So let's proceed to the Sorry for this topic. It should be in what date? When it should be?
For this topic, it should have been within. Hold on, doctor. This topic would have been the date, doctor.
Yes, the date.
It should have been on November 14th, doctor.
Sorry?
November 14th.
November 14th.
Yes. So today was supposed to be the oral aspect of metabolic and genetic diseases, but since we had to reschedule for today's topic, so today's topic was the 14th one on November. So for the oral aspect of metabolic and genetic diseases, would not go into the exam, doctor. That's what I've got from you, doctor.
Okay. Okay. Please.
Dokter, mohon maaf atas nama Naila Felicia Rarjo, apakah bisa dibantu? Terima kasih, dokter.
Sudah? Okay. These three students.
Permisi dokter, atas nama Raifa Fatima, bisa nggak tolong dibantu dokter?
Rasya Fatima.
Iya. Terima kasih dokter.
So Wikan and Bella cannot be attending this class. Cannot attend this class. No, Bella and Wikan. Okay. Right, so I will make today's schedules. Please wait.
Mohon maaf dokter, atas nama Bella Valentina tadi dokter kendala koneksi dokter.
Okay. Oke, silakan.
Miss bisa ya, Ki?
Yes. Okay. Rasya? Tara?
Mohon maaf dokter, apakah bisa dibantu?
Okay. Bella oke ya?
Iya dokter. Terima kasih dokter.
Okay. So let's end our meeting today. Thank you and see you next week with the presentations. Okay. Make the presentations clear and not